Recently, more and more applicants all over the United States are being denied their naturalization cases for very unreasonable reasons. In this video, we'll talk about some of the reasons why some cases are being denied and what you can do about it. What are you going to do if your N-400 application is wrongfully denied? How do you go about fighting this and moving to the next step? If you're interested in this topic, I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody and welcome back to Immigration Channel. This is a place we get the most up-to-date immigration news, immigration information, and everything else that you need to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnick and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California, and I help clients in all 50 states and all over the world. And in this video, we'll talk about some recent cases where applications for naturalization were denied for unreasonable reasons, and we'll talk about some options that you may have, what to do if your N-400, if your citizenship application gets denied. What do you do? How do you overcome this? But before we do this, if you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show this video to more people just like you. So in the past few months, we've seen quite a few cases. Applicants who applied for naturalization using Form N-400 were denied in the interview. These cases are as following. One applicant had wrong information on the forms. So for example, he forgot some addresses. These addresses were different than the addresses he included in his original green card application. So at the interview, instead of getting more information, instead of inquiring further, the officer decided to charge the applicant with fraud, misrepresentation, and denied his application for bad moral character. Another case that we've seen was an applicant that already had his removal proceedings years ago. He was cleared by an immigration judge. He already got his green card, and when he applied for his citizenship, the officer went back to his original removal application and started questioning what happened and deemed him inadmissible, ineligible for citizenship, and denied his application as a result. Another case where applicant had an old conviction over 30 years ago of a criminal case. That case was completely vacated. The immigration officer brought back that case and started analyzing and rejected the application because of that old case. These are just examples of some things that are happening in these interviews, at these N-400 interviews, where you are verbally telling the officer what's going on. The officer is looking at the forms, making assumptions, and based on these assumptions, they're denying your application. And this is happening all over the country. San Diego office, Phoenix office, New York office, Florida, Miami office, it's happening everywhere. So typically when a case is actually denied, what applicants should do is immediately file Form N-336. It's an option you get when the application is denied to get a hearing with another immigration officer. And typically at that hearing, you can go with an attorney and explain what's going on. So for example, in the case of the wrong addresses, it's clearly a typo. Clearly the applicant had no intention to hide anything. There was no benefit in hiding the addresses. It was clear omission where the applicant prepared the application by itself. He didn't have an attorney. He had no idea that he needed to include some of these addresses. And as a result, this can be clearly resolved at that hearing. The same thing with the old deportation case. You can clearly take records of the previous case, see that it's closed, the applicant receives his green card properly, and also the applicant is not at fault. There was another case where the applicant was issued a passport by mistake. Of course, when he received the passport, he immediately returned it, and there was no issue at all. But at the time when he applied for citizenship, he honestly disclosed to the immigration officer the fact that he received the passport. The officer claimed that he claimed to be a US citizen. This is a lifetime ban. And even at the hearing, they refused to clear that, and the application continued to be denied, and he was barred essentially for applying again forever. So in these situations where you go and appeal, so it can happen that you will get your application for citizenship denied. Most of these cases get resolved in these appeals. But if it doesn't get resolved in appeal, the best thing you can do is take this case to federal court and sue the government. It's been really effective by suing them because you can clearly take this case outside of the immigration system, bring it to federal court, and then you can show an independent judge that, listen, this doesn't make sense. For example, this passport was issued by mistake. It was the USCIS mistake to issue a passport to our client. It wasn't the client who claimed to be a US citizen. They gave him a passport by mistake. He took this passport, he returned it. And therefore, there was no assumption that he tried to be a US citizen. So a lot of these things can be resolved in federal court. Of course, it's intimidating, and a lot of people are refusing to do so. They're afraid, they don't know how to do it. The point is that federal litigation does work. It works in mandamus cases where we try to sue the government to speed up situations, and it can also work and you try to sue the government to try to show that it was an error of the government, it was wrongful, it was capricious, it wasn't fair. And therefore, there you have federal court. Federal court is the end, is the last stop where you can sue the government and get good results. So remember, if your application for citizenship gets denied and you go through the appeal process by filing Form N-336, which typically takes place during the denial process, you have 30 days to file this. If you still get denied afterwards with USCIS, the best thing to do is take your case to federal court and resolve the matter right there. In most cases, if you have good reasons, if you have good facts and merits to your case to substantiate an approval, a judge in federal court will see that as well, and your case will also get approved. So remember, don't be scared, don't be discouraged. If your case gets denied, if your N-400 gets denied, it doesn't mean that you're not going to become a U.S. citizen. You have to speak with an attorney to analyze the facts, why your case was denied. Was it a typographic error? Was it error on behalf of USCIS? Did you make the mistake when you filed? Did you use an attorney? Whatever the reason is, you can always resolve it after trying to appeal it in federal court. So once again, hopefully this information is helpful. Like I said, we have a lot of questions from people that are asking us, what do we do when our citizenship application gets denied? Well, this is what you do. You appeal it first, and if it doesn't work within the system of USCIS, you take it to federal court, and at that point, you get the results you need. So once again, if you do need help with any of your immigration matters, if your case is stuck, if you need to sue the government, if you need to resolve your case right now, text me 619-483-4549. I'm here to support you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.